a Gottlieb Spider-Man soundboard. Came in with a whole set of boards, and this one's a bit of a booger. I tested the 6503 and the 6530 and of course the ROM, and problem boiled down to a dead 1408 here, and a lot of corrosion on the top of the board, as you can see there, has been abated. So I played about 1 million games of Spider-Man. There's the start sound. And let's see if I can play some one-handed. You can hear the beautiful sounds of Spider-Man. Yep, that's the beautiful sounds of Spider-Man. Try to hit a drop target here. So the soundboard is working perfectly again. Thank you so much. Gottlieb System 80 Spider-Man MPU board that came in had significant corrosion in the reset section and down here in the clock section. Fingers on this connector were corroded pretty bad, and so I hacked some new edges onto them as best I could. But when the client gets this back, they're going to need to repin this connector. This is A1J6 because it is undoubtedly corroded in your game. 6532s were fine, installed NV RAM, so never need batteries again. There was a problem with the display circuitry here, so I replaced both these 7448s, and everything's working well now. The back of the board, you can see maybe a little bit of how bad those fingers are, but you'll have to take care of those when you get it back. Your power supply, also repaired that, rehabbed it per the documentation that I have in the pin wiki. So you've got a new voltage trim pod, new headers all the way around, and then CR7 and R10. And I've tested that. I've set that to the proper voltage for your game. So Spider-Man's all booted up here with your MPU. And I've already tested your driver board in my RoboWar. So let's put this into test. I don't know if you can hear it, but the relays are clicking now. Now the coin door lockout will click twice, and then the playfield will go into attract mode, and you can see all the lamps lighting up. I have LEDs in my Spider-Man, which a lot of people are against, but and I was too, but it really kind of makes these inserts pop. Test 17 is solenoids. So you could hear all those going off. 18 is the switch matrix, which was the most problematic part of this board. Now let me go through everything in column 1, and I have my homebrew kind of Pennytech tester that I created before Wayne at Pennytech started making them. So I've gone through column 1, and now I've gone through row 1, and everything's working fine there. So by the way, row 7 is a diagnostic button. Now we're in display test, and when I got the board, segment B on both players 3 and 4 was locked on. Now you can see it's making all the ones, which is a separate signal from the MPU board on System 80 machines. So all the ones were working, and this is quite boring, so I'm just going to suggest moving on after the 3 here, so that it will have covered all the segments. So good to go. The last test is memory test, and this will come back 99. Which means it's working perfectly. So I'm going to reboot the machine by powering off and back on. 5-second delay. And you hear the relays click and the displays come up. So this MPU is good to go. And as well as the power supply, the soundboard, which I'll roll that video in also, and the driver board. Thank you so much for sending them. This was quite a bit of work, and I hope you're happy with the end result.